Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with the Lucci v Lucci matchup. My opponent it's his first time playing Lucci, and I am so sorry about the camera, guys. It was being a butt early on, but we did just top deck our stage, so at least we're not gonna have a stage v stage. And look at that, milling another Sabo. First Lucci mill, we tap 2 and get our Ennie's lobby, and they took that hit, which is good for us. I'm a fan of that, and this game was pretty fun. I think I did get pretty lucky, but as I mentioned, my opponent is also new to Lucci, so I think that my experience, my very minimal experience of Lucci did help there, and he ends up swinging 8 there and milling, and I get Rebecca. That is great by me, and we get 8 cost Isha. We already have the 8 cost Gecko in hand, and while I'm tempted to play the 8 cost Gecko on my 8 non-turn, I feel like it's better to weirdly be the second one to play 8 cost Gecko. I could be wrong about that, but we end up milling a Lucci, which is great. We love seeing Lucci swinging 6, and he takes going down to 3 life. I tap 4 and I drop the Borsalino. Borsalino in the mirror matchup I really like, although it is something that I may drop because I know a lot of Borsalinos are, a lot of Luccis are running the 6 cost Brook, which kind of just gets around Borsalino now. So it's definitely exactly Vi. I don't know if you guys can hear her, but she agrees. Borsalino is something that I could be dropping soon. I am tweaking the list, adding more Luccis and more KO things. I'm looking around, so if you've got a spicy Lucci list, go ahead, let me know. My opponent goes ahead, swings 6, minusing Borsalino, and I just go ahead and take that hit. We get to span them, which isn't great, and we get another stage, which definitely is a little frustrating. I feel like when I have a stage, I don't really want to see another one, although I do know that I can play stage or use stage, tap 2, play stage again, use stage, but not my favorite way to mill or get something low enough. But we do end up swinging 6, milling Tempest Kick and Subaru, and my opponent goes ahead and takes, and my opponent did play the Sabo, so not much I can do with that, so I do go ahead and play Spandam just to trash or get more in trash. We end up taking Kaku, I'm pretty sure. He doesn't want to come with us, but we take him with us just to get that 2k counter. I know Kaku has a minusing effect, but I don't really use him for the minus effect. Maybe I should, I'm not sure. But we play out another Borsalino and pass turn. Realistically, we could have swung 7, but I think I was thinking of some other possible plays and then remembered that Sabo happened. So both my hand and my opponent's hand looking pretty fat. Little does my opponent know, I have not a lot of cards that are usable in hand, but it is good to have the Borsalinos on board. But he ends up dropping the E-Show, and I'm shuffling my cards because I don't do a great job of hand shuffling them. So he picks 2 cards, and he ends up getting my Tempest Kick and my E-Show, which is unfortunate. I was thinking about playing the E-Show to kind of, I hopefully get some cards out of his hand, because you can see his hand is pretty full. I block with the Borsalino and pass turn. We get the Kaku, the 5 cost Kaku, which a lot of Lucci decks are dropping, and I am also considering dropping. It's been pretty tough for me to utilize Kaku, and I feel like there are some better KO options such as Brook and others. So probably one of the last videos you guys are going to see Kaku in my list. I do like the card. I think it's a cool looking card, but Yeah, so I'm counting my Dawn. I am thinking about a potential Gecko play, I think. Just to kind of, he dropped the first 8 cost. I kind of want to be able to answer that aggression with my own 8 cost. And I think I'm trying to figure out if I can pop Kaku, or not Kaku, excuse me, Isho. There's a chance I might be trying to see if I can get him with Kaku. We mill Lucci. I minus Sabo to 4. Milling, there's my dice. Milling Lucci and a Tempest Kick, and my opponent counters out of the hit, which is fine. He gives me a Rebecca and something else I can't remember. So yeah, I am doing the math. I end his lobby, minusing him by 2 more. I got my dice set to show the current cost, so that helps me a lot personally. I think he has his dice put on there so he knows how much it's minused by. But I get him to 2, I think, or 3, excuse me. And I'm thinking about dropping the Gecko. And because I could Gecko into Lucci. Can't get the Isho, which is unfortunate, but it is definitely a possibility. But I think I might... I think I go a different way. I end up popping... I'm okay with that. I pop the Isho, or the Sabo with Kaku, returning 2 Tempest Kicks to the bottom of my deck. I think it's only 2. I thought it was 3. And with the 3 Dawn I have left, I swing 5 with Spandam just to kind of apply a little more pressure. He counters out with the Spandam and, get some cards out of his hand. So, definitely okay with that play. I think I don't have a really great Gecko option that turn. I think I could have popped Sabo and Spandam, but realistically I want to pop more powerful targets, if you will. And I think I think against Lucci, it's kind of, if you can pop the stronger targets, I feel like it's a better option. But we do have the Spandine in trash. So that's good for us. He ends up hard playing the Rebecca and grabbing, I think he grabs, I want to say Spandam, actually. No, he grabs the 2K Kaku. That makes more sense. And I think he might play out... Oh, yeah. So he plays out the Spandime and returns a couple CP cards to the trash. He was returning a Spandam, a Lucci, and a Khalifa to the bottom of his deck. And then he ends up playing out the Kaku. And minusing my Kaku by enough to make 0. I think that Kaku is a -3, so I've got a 0 cost. And then he plays out Lucci to pop Kaku and Spandam. Hard playing the Lucci, which fine by me. But his board is getting a little scarier than I'd like it to be. And he's returning Sabo, Spandam, and something else I did not see to the bottom of his deck. So, swinging the 8 there, I think I feel like I go ahead and block here. Oh no, I go ahead and counter out, 0 cost, Any's lobby, puts me at 8, and then Kaku. I could have put Rebecca in trash to get the Rebecca Spandam Lucci off, but there's a chance I already have one in trash. I get another Spandam from trash, which is great. And I know I'm mixing up their names. I'm so sorry. I am a little... reading is hard. Dyslexia is a thing. I'm doing my best. I've only met Spandam in the anime. I am just finishing up Punk Hazard right now. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how best to pop some things. We're both sitting at 2 life, and I think I need to play Gecko. I swing 5 into Kaku, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to minus, I think, as well as where my dice is. So I minus the Isho by 1, and I mill Brook and Brook. That's cool. We never liked that Brook guy anyway. I minus the Ennie's Lobby by 2, putting him down by 3. So he's at 5 now, so I may be getting my dice. Yeah, get my dice so I can tell myself that he is, in fact, at 5. I do have 2 extra Dawn. 1, I tap 1 for the Spandam, trying to get some more goodies in trash. We put a Gecko in trash. We take Kaku back to our hand, which is fine. That is a 1k counter. We still have both of our Borsalinos up. So that's nice. And we go ahead and drop the Gecko. I put my card down because we have some work to do here. I think we end up... I feel like we play the... I think we Rebecca... Are we? Yeah. If I remember, we get the Lucci out. And I'm just trying to grab what I need. Yeah, I don't have a Rebecca in trash. So I do end up playing out the Helmeppo. I play the Lucci standing, the Helmeppo. And I do get rid of my Spandam. No fear here. And just pop... I pop just the Isho, and I'm counting, and I go, oh shoot, my bad, and get rid of the Spandam, and I go ahead and pass turn. So we use Lucci to pop the Isho, making his board a lot more manageable, hoping that he can't respond with a Gecko, but he does tap, he taps 5 for the Sabo, which definitely is hard to get around unless I have the Brook. The Brook trashes, not KOs, and Sabo just protects from KOing. So, yeah, pretty good card. Definitely gonna put, I think, 2 to 3. I'm thinking 2 right now. I do like running the zero cost event. I like the zero cost event. They are CP cards that can go on the bottom of your deck. So yeah, I'm just very torn on how I want to change my list, and nothing's feeling right on the sim, and I don't know if that's just because I am unlucky or what. But he swings 7 and minuses the Lucci by 3, and I think, yeah, I go ahead and block with Borsalino. I just don't have a lot of counter in my hand, and I mean, I feel like this is a good time as any to block here. They go 7, and I take that one. We get the Ennie's Lobby. I don't trigger it out, thinking that maybe I can use it to minus something down for a Gecko maybe. They go another 7, and I go ahead and block with the Borsalino, and they don't end up popping Lucci, which is great. There's not much I can do this turn, though, because they played the Sabo effect, or they played Sabo. I could rebuttal with my own Sabo, which might be my best option, is to get some swings in and then get my own Sabo. I'm going to see what I have in my trash. Yeah, I think I have a decent trash. I think I'm definitely thinking of Helmeppo as a 3k body, so it's only 2 Dawn to get a 5k swing off. Might be worth it, especially with the way my opponent's board is looking, and he is down to 2 cards in hand, just like me. Actually, I think I have 3 cards in hand, never mind. Potentially 4, 5. Ooh, 5, because I took that life, that's right. And yeah, I am trying to figure out what I want to do here, how best to make something happen. I go 6 into the Kaku, and he goes ahead and lets it go. I separate it by 8, I think I'm trying to fake that I have another like Gecko. And so we go 6 into Lucci, assuming I'd get a blocker, and I do. Lucci effect to mill Kaku and another Gecko, which is so sad. minusing the Spandeem. And yeah, I don't have too much to do, but I'm definitely thinking about swinging. I'm pretty sure I end up swinging with Helmeppo and then playing Sabo. I'm sorry my chair was so squeaky right there. Hopefully you guys don't really hear it much. But yeah, so I play out my Sabo, getting a Gecko and a Spandam, and I'm all for it. I trash Annie's lobby and Spandam. I think I have a Rebecca in trash already. Otherwise, I should have trashed Rebecca. But we will see. I go 8 or 9 into the Lucci and tap, and he ends up giving me the Sabo blocker. I tap 5. No, I tap 4 and hard play. Yeah, I hard play Rebecca into what? Spandam? No, I grab Khalifa. I don't think I play anything this turn. Yeah, and pass turn. I grab Khalifa for the 2K. Yeah, that's solid. I think that's a good play. It gives me the Rebecca to block with and get that in trash, and it gets me a 2K in hand. I know I definitely think about this deck in like almost strictly like lines, you know, like how, you know, Rebecca, I need to play it off of Gecko, but you know, Rebecca is very valuable just by herself, I think, especially the ability to get back a 2K. Like, yes, it is great that I can play like something small off of Rebecca, and the, you know, Rebecca or Gecko Spandine Rebecca, that play is absolutely disgusting. But getting a blocker on field, granted I should have Rebecca to then Saboed, but I think it was more of an afterthought to Rebecca to get the 2K. But yeah, I think that's a good play. And then I do have Gecko, and I'm thinking Gecko next turn. He ends up swinging into Gecko, and I just tap. I just let Rebecca take the hit, get her in trash for the Rebecca Lucci Spandime. He swings into Lucci. What is that? 5. And I use all the counter in my hand to keep that Lucci up, which is fine by me. I still have the Sabo, and realistically, I could have let that Lucci go. We do end up getting the Tempest Kick, which is pretty good here because it gives me something to draw. I can draw and hope for more counter. And I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. Thankfully, both of his bodies on board are small, so I can, and I know I have a Lucci. I know I have a Rebecca. You know, I just put Rebecca in the trash. So I -2 to the Mr. Robert Lucci, and I think I Tempest kicked the Spandime here. It does seem a little overkill, but you know, getting the Lucci out, I think getting bodies off board is good, and getting more blockers. I swing 6 into life, minusing Spandime. He gives me 2 cards out of his hand, and yeah, I minus the Spandime and draw, and we get the Kaku, 2K Kaku. That's pretty good. And so I minus Spandime by 3, so he's got a 0 cost and a 2 cost, and I end up, so I have 5 on board. So in that reason, I should have swung Lucci first before I did this. I end up trashing the Helmeppo, which is fine. I coulda used Helmeppo if I needed him, but yeah, getting the Rebecca off of the Gecko off of the Sabo last turn really turned it around for me. Spandime, I grab the Spandime, excuse me, my brain stopped working there. My cat is sitting in front of my screen. And I'm going for the Spandime, play out, and I know I have 6 characters on board. I'm trying to get this line down. My opponent reminds me, and I do end up letting the Lucci that I haven't played out, go. Realistically, as I said, should have swung Lucci first and then got rid of the Lucci. I definitely goofed that up. definitely need to get back on swinging board before playing. It's just, I think playing black has like made it kind of weird for me. So I popped those two, and I'm sending cards back to the bottom, and I end up swinging Gecko, and he's like, hey, you've got 6 on board, and I go, oh my gosh, I do. I'm sorry, I'll trash this Lucci. Like, I go 9, and we have 2 blockers up, which could potentially be hard for him to get through, depending on what he has, what he gets in his hand. We could be in trouble. There's no Sabo effect to protect us. There is no nothing. He goes ahead and taps 8 to play his own Gecko, and he's got a pretty big trash, so I am pretty worried here. He ends up grabbing Rebecca and playing out, and he ends up grabbing the Spandam to play out. He bottom decks a Lucci. I think he's bottom decking a Kaku and a Tempest Kick. Yeah, he bottom decks Lucci, Tempest Kick, and Kaku. And then plays out with the Spandime. He does, I feel like he draws Khalifa. I could be wrong, but yeah. So yeah, he does Khalifa, trying to get some better cards in hand for me. And then we'll clap back, trashing a Gecko. Unfortunate, my opponent did mention that they had not seen a Gecko all game until this moment, so it's super unfortunate. I know how frustrating it is at playing Lucci when you don't see the pieces. He minuses the Gecko, milling 2, and swing 7, and I block with Rebecca, and we have 2 Geckos on board and plenty of power. So I go 5 just to get a card out of his hand, minusing his Rebecca. Yeah, so I remember what I do here. Might be a little overkill, but I wanted to make sure my hits were going to land. I go 5, he countered out with his Spandime. I play 3 to play out Spandine, and then Spandine will play out the other Lucci that I had in trash to pop his blocker, so that I will swing 9, and I will go the rest on lead. Granted, I'm sure I could have got there without popping his blocker, but I didn't want to risk it. I wanted to make sure that he couldn't use the blocker or anything like that. But honestly, good game. My opponent, I feel, did really well, considering he was that was his first time on Lucci. So yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with Lucci. I did get frustrated with it earlier in the week, but playing fun people, playing people who are cool, and then, you know, sometimes seeing cards definitely helps. But yeah, I've mentioned in a couple of the videos, we are going to be building a fun deck as well. I will be playing Boa again eventually. I'm not sure when. Hopefully when more of the Luccis die out. And yeah, I'm thinking about the Reiju or Red Blue VV. Those two are on my mind a lot. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.